Hello, friends. Wanted to share some scriptures with you this afternoon. I shared this in a prayer group this morning that I met with, and it's from Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 through 20. This is Jesus speaking here. It's part of the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 7, and he says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you'll recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you'll recognize them." Lots of warning signs Jesus paints here for the listener. Enter through the narrow gate. It's this picture of a narrow gate, a narrow, small gate. It's a picture also of a wide gate on a broad road, okay? It means a lot of traffic can go through that. And I think of this narrow gate that's the less popular avenue, the less popular route to go. It's not very common, or not as common. Jesus says, enter the small gate. And he also, right after that, says, watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're ferocious wolves. Sheep's clothing, so they look like a sheep. Not very intimidating. Doesn't look very vicious at all, does it, a sheep? But inwardly, it's a ferocious wolf, this false prophet that he speaks of here. And he says you'll know them, you're going to recognize them by their fruit. There are so many messages going on still, aren't there? I don't know what to believe. I don't know who to believe. And maybe you find yourself in the same situation, the same position, where it's like, I don't know what source to believe. I don't know what network to believe. I don't know what website to trust. I don't know what... I believe we can come back to this and learn that those who are telling a true message will be bearing fruit that tie right into that truth that they're sharing. There's going to be fruit. And it's fruit that you can recognize. You can observe this fruit. That's why many times people have a tough time with Christians, because they'll say one thing, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, and then they'll just turn around and be bad-mouthing somebody in their workplace that works in the next department over or whatever, or they'll be just doing things that person would not expect a Christian to do. Jesus says a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So be fruit observers, folks. And these warnings that Jesus gives, every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. It's this idea of judgment on those who aren't following the truth. They haven't entered through this narrow gate. And Jesus, of course, he's talking about himself right here. He's saying he's the way. Of course, he said that later on in John's Gospel 14:6, right? I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. There's the whistle of the swimmers at the pool back behind me at Marmon Valley Farm. So that wasn't timing out this video, so it's okay. I can keep going. So nevertheless, warnings that Jesus gives, warnings about who we listen to, warnings about decisions that we make, about about our eternity and about who we are trusting in and believing in for that eternity. And Jesus is saying it's found in him. It's found in him. So I wanted to share those words with you all this afternoon, friends, and just want to encourage you in these days of confusion as they continue, and maybe you're feeling the weariness just like I am, but weary, but not fearful. I'm weary, but I'm not, I'm not anxious. I'm not nervous. I don't have anxiety over it, but because I trust my Lord through all of this, that He's the author of all time. He's the creator of time. He exists outside of it, and we can trust Him during this era, during this time that we have to endure. Press on, friends. Believers, stay near to Jesus. Walk close with Him, and stay near to His written word, so that you can discern messages that you hear, and you can decide what to believe and what not to believe. And anyway, be encouraged. Love you all. Talk to you later.